After 332 weddings across every state in Australia and a handful overseas, we're sharing the most vital lessons we've learned in the past 11 years photographing weddings, so you don't have to make the same mistakes we did.
We're Trent and Jessie. We're a husband and wife photography team based in Brisbane, Australia. 10 years ago, we took the leap to full-time self-employment as wedding photographers. It's been a wild ride to say the least, the highest highs and the lowest lows. Now we're sharing all that we've learned.
No gatekeeping, no silly questions. This is a safe space to learn together, where everyone has a seat at the table.
We've put together our resource vault for wedding photographers that includes all the game-changing tools and resources we wish we knew about at the start of our journey. We'll tell you more about that soon. Let's dive into our first lesson.
When we first started, so many of the wedding photographers who we looked up to and who we could see succeeding on social media had these big, larger-than-life personalities. They weren't afraid to put themselves out there, they showed up with oodles of confidence and shared the most epic photos that won all the awards and were featured in all the magazines. The couples in their images looked like they were having the time of their lives, the compositions were dynamic, and the emotions were loud. We thought this is what success looked like. But for two introverts, this version of success looked almost unachievable. Like we would have to put on some ill-fitting clothing to make our dream job a reality. It wasn't until we realized that we could lean into our own unique superpowers that we started to create the work that fulfilled us the most and brought us our own version of success. Let us explain. We realized we didn't have to be loud and the life of the party. We could be quiet and observant and hone our skills in these areas. Our sensitivity and empathy was a strength, and we developed the skill of putting others at ease. We started to attract couples who were drawn to our relaxed and intimate approach, and we felt more and more comfortable in our own skin. We had found our voice, clothes that fit just right, and that resonated with others. The lesson here is to lean into your strengths. Think about what makes you unique. How would you categorize your personality? What are you good at? Not just when it comes to photography, but when it comes to relationships and connecting with others. Think about these things and how you can harness them in your approach and business. We have seen success in highlighting our quiet natures in our marketing, as this resonates with couples who are also introverted and may be anxious about being the center of attention on their wedding day and being photographed.
Now for a lesson we thankfully learned very early on, and one that paid dividends. As noobs in the wedding industry, we really didn't know anyone doing what we wanted to do, working as a full-time wedding photographer. We followed a few rockstar photographers on Facebook, but didn't know anyone personally. When we were fresh in our journey and had only shot 2 weddings, we attended a 2-day in-person wedding photography workshop. Looking back now, we can see just how much it set us up and how valuable it truly was. But at the time, it was a huge investment, especially buying 2 tickets. We really didn't know if it would pay off. Not only did we learn a lot about systems to help us run a photography business and tips for posing couples, but we also made friends. We met other budding wedding photographers who were at a similar stage to us, or a little bit ahead. We can think of 3 other photographers in particular who attended that workshop, all who have helped us along in our journey and who we have helped in return. We have referred each other work. We even photographed the sibling of one of these photographers almost 7 years after the workshop. We've been available to bounce ideas off of each other, chat through pricing, even been there if the need arose to cover for each other during COVID. Community over competition truly is the path to longevity and success in this industry. Prioritizing sharing rather than gatekeeping. A rising tide lifts all ships, as they say, and it's way easier to succeed when you have help than to feel isolated and try to do it all yourself. So that's our second lesson. Build relationships. Make friends and find community. Connect with others in the wedding industry too. Make friends with florists, makeup artists, venue managers, DJs, anyone. You're all part of a couple's dream team on a wedding day. And if you're friendly and great to work with, other vendors might refer you work as well. And when you have a couple looking for a particular vendor, you can refer a friend.
Having industry friends is a game changer, but some challenges you have to overcome yourself, like this next one. This lesson makes us feel a little uncomfortable. Some mixed emotions for sure. Sometimes the biggest lessons are the ones that hurt the most. Let me take you back to 5 years into our business. We'd learned some things, found some success, and noticed that wedding videography was really gaining popularity. So we saw the opportunity to bring on our good friend Tim as our in-house videographer to work alongside us. It was great. Couples loved booking a team, and we were bringing in a little more revenue. After a little while and chatting to Tim, we decided to bring on another videographer. After all, we had 2 photographers, and it would alleviate some pressure and produce a better video if we had 2 videographers too. So we brought on another videographer, Cam, to shoot alongside Tim at weddings. Now, since it wasn't just the two of us anymore, we thought we should change our business name from Trent and Jessie to something without our names in it. Something more fancy and elevated. We were a studio now and we wanted to take our business to the next level, whatever that was. So we paid a lot of money to a designer and completely rebranded to Ephemeral Creative. Ephemeral meaning something fleeting, lasting only for a moment, and the word creative because that's what we were. Creatives. Unfortunately, what happened next was not the skyrocket to success and luxury weddings we'd hoped for. Over the next 24 months, we saw our inquiries slowly decline. What we hadn't realized is that we were essentially starting from scratch. Nobody knew this new name, and for some, they had never heard the word ephemeral, had no idea what it meant or how to spell it, and this was terrible from a marketing perspective. It wasn't until we had a mentor tell us straight that changing our business name may be the cause of our business decline. And that's when we realized we'd made a mistake. The new business name was a fail. It had the opposite effect for what we were hoping for. So what did we do? We went back to Trent and Jessie, relaunched our business, and have seen our business grow. Now, plenty of other mistakes and fails later, we've made peace with failure and realized that not only is it a part of running a business, as a wise YouTube philosopher once said, failure is the road.
Failure is not embarrassing. It is not a roadblock. It is the road.
Yeah, it is the road.
Dude. I mean,
Wow.
let's give it up for Colin.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So really, there's two lessons here. One, choose a memorable business name, and two, don't be afraid to fail, which is really what we needed to overcome for us to start learning this next lesson. Now, we like comfort. We're introverted, we love quiet and cozy spaces. We've struggled with confidence, we don't love putting ourselves out there or disturbing the peace. We enjoy structure and some control. Unknowns give us anxiety, so this next lesson is not something that comes naturally at all. But we're also incurable dreamers, addicted to progress. We've grown to love the business side of wedding photography, and we knew that we had to break through some ceilings if we wanted to see growth, both personal growth and business growth. To hit the goals we had for ourselves and our business, we realized we would have to take action, and a lot of action that was way outside our comfort zones. Action like showing our faces and talking to camera on social media, reaching out to venues and other vendors and meeting new people in person, putting ourselves out there and risking rejection. All of it felt uncomfortable, and there was no real guarantee that it would pay off or be well received. But what surprised us the most as we started to take these uncomfortable actions is that we started to see a shift in another area. It wasn't something we were working on or expected. We were putting ourselves out there, getting some yeses, some no's, occasional rejections, and occasional new opportunities. Amongst it all, we started to see our confidence grow. Similar to overcoming the fear of failure, we learned that getting uncomfortable and putting ourselves out there was not only the key to growth in our business, but it was also the key to growing our confidence as people. We've grown more comfortable with the uncomfortable and seen our confidence slowly grow.
A lesson that has served us well when figuring out this next lesson. We both studied photography, and you would think that if you wanted to be a photographer, this is the kind of training you would need. Wrong. Well, kind of. Learning photography is of course crucial. However, it's not the most helpful if you want to make it your profession. If you're wanting to turn your creativity into a business, you need to learn, well, business.
Business.
And included in that is marketing. Neither of us studied business or marketing, but at least had enough understanding that in order to turn photography into a job, we needed bookings. And how do we get bookings? Through spreading the word that we're open for business. In other words, marketing. Wedding photography is actually not the greatest business model when it comes to cash flow. We don't have any repeat business. At least we don't hope to. And everything hinges on one unrepeatable event. Of course, you could move into other types of photography and follow your couple through more life stages by offering maternity, newborn and family photography. But for us, we wanted to focus on weddings. So we actually have to be non-stop marketing, always looking for new customers, looking for an audience that are in a very specific and often not particularly long life season. Engaged or soon to be. Lucky for us, we started our business at a time when lots of people around us were getting married. We photographed friends' weddings and friends of friends, but at some point our word of mouth marketing approach wasn't enough to get all the bookings we needed to make wedding photography something we could both live off. So learning this next lesson was vital if we wanted to have a job. It was learning how to expand our marketing. Now we could do a whole video on this, so let us know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. But here are just a few quick marketing tips. Number one, look after your couples and make sure your client experience is exceptional, so they refer you to their friends and family and your word of mouth keeps extending. Number two, Don't limit your word of mouth marketing to just friends and family. Connect with others in the industry and start building your relationships. We did this by reaching out to other wedding vendors and offering value for free. We captured photos and videos for vendors and venues that they could use in their marketing. This really helped us connect, build trust and familiarity, and simultaneously gave us opportunity to get to know the people behind the businesses. Once we built relationships, we pulled together styled shoots to create aspirational imagery that could be shared everywhere and submitted to blogs to be featured. A few more tips are to advertise with blogs and magazines you want to be aligned with, share regularly on social media, and think about improving your website SEO. You can write blogs on searchable topics, and if you're up for it, create a matching YouTube video to embed in the blog as well. Since expanding our marketing and continuing to work on it, we consistently receive 5 to 10 inquiries a week, sometimes more, depending on the season.
So we worked out how to bring in wedding photography work. But this next lesson is much more about the photos themselves, and for us, learning the skills that change everything for our photography. When we first started as wedding photographers, we would see these epic images on Instagram and Pinterest and would go into the photo time on a wedding day, wanting to recreate them, but had no idea how. How do these beautiful, unscripted moments just unfold in front of your lens? It wasn't until we realized that our couples didn't have to be anything other than themselves that we finally figured out what was missing. And we can't even begin to describe the immense relief that overcame us in that long-awaited, life-changing aha moment. Now, years later, we've continued to refine the way we approach directing and posing our couples, and hone the skills of putting others at ease. So much so that we've developed a framework, an approach to authentic posing that allows us to photograph our couples in a way that feels true for them. It creates space for them to be real and let their guard down, and gives us confidence to walk into any photo time knowing we can create images for our couples where they feel seen, and preserves the memories of how it felt on their wedding day. We have a whole video about our approach that we'll link to at the end of this video.
For now, let's recap our 6 lessons. Number 1, lean into your unique superpowers, what makes you you. Number 2, prioritize building relationships with others in the industry. 3, failure is a necessary part of business and life. No need to be afraid of it. 4, grow and gain confidence through pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. 5, learn to expand your marketing. Don't rely on just one source for inquiries. And 6, developing the skills to put others at ease is a secret to creating the images you dream of that truly reflect your couples.
As we mentioned at the start, we've put together our resource vault for wedding photographers. It features all of the tools we use to streamline our business and makes our life easier, like what we use to cull and edit weddings efficiently, how we share our photos with clients, even how we manage all our client data. You can download the resources vault via the link in the description.
Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, we see you. We appreciate you, and we hope we have provided you with value. Check out this video next, where we share our secrets to authentic posing.